Harry Kane, though, that there are talks, and we have to caveat this with what Ornstein has said is that unless things like get bad at Spurs, he's seriously considering a new deal. If Harry Kane spends the rest of his career at Tottenham, what does that say about Harry Kane?
He's a loser.
We all knew that.
He's a loser. He's a loser. The guy's
got one chance to get out right now.
Loser. He even said on a video with Jamie, what was it? That Jamie Redknapp. He's like, I'll consider moving or something like that a couple seasons ago. If he doesn't leave or jump ship this summer and he signs a new contract, he's basically saying to the world that he doesn't give a shit about winning. He doesn't care about success. All he cares about is being a Tottenham legend, getting the goal record. And to him, that goal record might mean more to him than any trophy. Because for England, he hasn't been able to do it. For Spurs, he hasn't been able to do it. And let's be honest, his record in big games and in finals and everything else shows it that he doesn't have the winning mentality when the pressure's on.
Yeah, it just shows a lack of ambition to me, because you could get that record, you could get the trophies, and you'd still be a Tottenham legend. Like I don't know a Tottenham fan right now who would look at the situation the club's in and think, you know what, fair play. For someone who's like 29, about to turn 30, literally giving his best years to the club, just saying, you know what, I'm tired. I need to win something. I need to have something to look back at the end of the season. I'm gone. No one can hold that against him. So the legend thing would already stick anyway. If he signs a new contract, he is not serious. He's not serious in any way, shape, or form.
What goal record is he after? Is he after the Tottenham one, or is he after the Premier League
Alan
one?
Shearer.
The Prem one. I think he's going to break the Tottenham one in a few weeks.
So then just go to United or something.
Exactly. It's set out perfectly. They need a striker.
But I don't. I personally, I'm not being fun. I think Kane could probably play till he's about 34 years old at a high level. I think he's got that in him to actually and still get loads of goals. Maybe not as many. You might see his assists go up more a little bit. He might drop deep. Depends what runners he's got off of him, right?
He'll be one of the ones.
But at Man United, if I'm gonna say he's 29, yeah, going on 30 in June, yeah. So he's got about, if I'm saying till 34, he's got about 4 years, maybe four and a bit years left in at the top game. I'm not doing it because I don't own Man United. But for me, in the way I'm thinking, I don't want to pay the 75 to 80 million that they're quoted that they want to get with a guy with 1 year left on his contract. I think he's got 4 years left or in his game. I'd rather wait till next season. I don't want to pay that personally, because I think 65 million tops is like cool. Then we're getting ripped off, English tax, whatever. But that's my way of thinking.
If that was the difference between you being top 4 and title contenders, would it be worth it?
We all do this thing. We could talk on 100 million Mudriks, 100 million Nunez's. I don't know whatever you was prepared to pay for whoever. Money's always a thing.
It's Kane, but it's Kane though. It's certified goals wins you the title. I think.
Why would I want to give them? I don't want to give them 75, 80 million. I don't want to give Tottenham that money.
That's your money.
If they made you title contenders,
I want to give them that money. Yeah, it is because it is my money because it is my money because I paid to go watch United. I go there, and if I want to invest into the club more, if they get new owners, I'll go to the store.
So why it's not comparable to like a Nunez or a Mudryk is because both of those are risks because they're like a little bit unknown, and they're young players, so we don't know what this is. Harry Kane we're talking about. Like as much as it pains me, he's mustard. Okay,
I'd rather pay an extra 25 million. I'd rather pay an extra. I would rather part of my club in the way I'm thinking. I'd rather go get Osman or someone like that in this day and age.
That's going to be double the price, though.
I don't care. I don't care.
You'd rather spend 150 million for one striker or get the same thing for about 75,
He's not going to spend 150.
You know how hard like that is so valuable.
Yeah, but Kane, you say not guaranteed, but Kane's not guaranteed to succeed at United either. There's no guarantee in anything in life.
No, you think Kane wouldn't succeed in the United system?
You never know. You don't know.
But what do you think? What's your opinion on it? Do you think he would succeed in the United system? Would he be the difference between you being top 4 contenders and title contenders?
Well, the way I look at Man United, we lack pace. We lack a lot of pace in the side. And the last thing I think I might want is, is someone slow like Kane that potentially won't succeed in like that. Because I feel like we need pace in the side, and Osman is someone he's got blistering pace. Good. I'd rather take a gamble on there. I'd rather take a gamble there than a gamble on Kane for 80 million. If a Kane was like 60 million, I was like, yeah, you know what? Cool.
The thing is, though,
I don't even think Osman's.
Let me just interject for a second. So I get where you're coming from with the pace thing, but Victor Osimhen, until he's 70, 80 years old, he will never be as good a football player as Harry Kane. Harry Kane is a superior football player to him. And a pass moves faster than anyone can dribble. So Harry Kane doesn't have and never has had the speed off the shoulder of a striker, but yet he's still got 15 Premier League goals this season in a team that doesn't attack. Can you imagine him with a team that attacks? All you've got to do, and Man United fans did this with Zlatan, and we got this so wrong. He's too slow. He's too slow. He's too slow. We haven't had a striker as good as Zlatan before or since him from when Fergie retired. Even the best number 9 the club has had, and he had no pace. What we didn't have for Zlatan was enough quality with speed around him. And that's all you need to make sure you've got. And with Sancho, with Rashford, with
Sancho's not fast.
Well, yeah, but he's fast enough. I mean, I know everyone wants Mbappe pace,
Yeah.
but how many players have got Mbappe pace, Rashford pace with Sancho skill? There's not many. If I finish my point, though, let me finish my point. Man United have bought, since Fergie's time at the club, players that you would consider having no sell-on value to being in their early 30s who gave us success. I mean, there's nonsense that you shouldn't do. Let me list these players out to you. Eric Cantona was bought 27. Teddy Sheringham at 31. Henningberg 27. Yapstam 26, just about to turn 27. This is no sell-on value or older. Dwight York 28. Barthez 29. You've got Gabriel Heinze turning 27. Van der Sar turning 35. Michael Carrick 26. Hargreaves 27. Berbatov 28. Robin van Persie 29 turning 30. Zlatan was 35. Varane 29. And Casemiro 30 going on 31. And my point is, if you trust the manager, by the way, if Ten Hag says, no, I prefer Usherman, I'm going to back him. But if our manager says, right here, right now, the next 3 to 4 years, we could win Prems and Champions Leagues by adding Harry Kane, his age to me becomes almost irrelevant because I trust the manager, and it's worked many times for us in our past. This notion that you just have to buy young, I think is wrong. You look at Arsenal just done this. Some Arsenal fans were flabbergasted by Trossard. But he's not a kid. You weren't just going to keep buying kids. Zinchenko and Jesus weren't kids. They're not in their late 30s. It's about getting that mixture and balance right. And with Man United, we've got a lot of good young kids, especially in attack. What we actually need is some elder statesmen that can help us. And listen, if you said to me right now, right at this moment today, I could sign Usherman, Cisco, or Kane. I'm taking Kane in a goddamn heartbeat. I don't care about how old he is. This guy's going to bang goals and be a top player to 34, 35 years of age. And listen, I don't want to do a Liverpool. I don't want to spend 3 to 4 years building a team that can win. I want a team that can start winning straight away. And I think Harry Kane brings that to Man United massively.
I hear you. I wouldn't say no to. I would never say, but I'll never say no to Kane. Like you said, if Eric Ten Hag wants him, I'm at that point where whatever my manager wants, I'm good with. Other than Cody Gakpo, and I never wanted him. I don't even know if he's made his debut yet. Like other than that, I'm good. But with me, I just don't know if I had the choice. I think I'd rather pick Osman. Just because I don't know, man. Harry Kane's. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a gamble, but it's just. But I get it. But I just like the way he's playing at the moment for Napoli. They play good football and they play up there. And I think we can do something similar. And I just want something for the next 5 to 10 years, rather than a quick fix. But sometimes maybe we need a quick fix at the moment.
I don't think Kane will be a quick fix though, because I think if you look at Harry Kane and the way he plays football, that's a man who could do 3 years up front for you. Then you go and reevaluate the striker market then when it's a little bit more full, and you might find a better fit at a cheaper price, and then Kane just moves back into an attacking midfield or centre midfield because he's got the qualities to do that. He has the qualities to move back when his pace, which isn't really there anyway, but starts to dwindle.
Can't be your best player. Harry Kane can't be your best player. You're gonna need other players also.
Why can Harry Kane not be the best player?
No, because Harry Kane has shown on numerous teams that him being the best player, he can't get a team over the line. Maybe you guys can.
But that's just
Tottenham,
though. Like, it's Tottenham. No one's getting Tottenham.
The difference at United again will be he's got at Tottenham. It's no one wins anything at Tottenham. At United, he'd have Casemiro and Varane. United's
winners. Tottenham have losers.
Mentality. So whereas when he was on Tottenham, it was a loser having to carry losers through. This would be someone where he doesn't necessarily have all that pressure of winning on him.
I get that. You could teach that, and you can definitely with other players around there. But I'm saying he can't be the only guy.
But it's up to him at the end of the day.
You're right.
Who's better than him?
Igal, but you're right though. I mean, technically he could be the best footballer, but you're right, Igal. He can't be the only guy. But the club has Varane. The club has Sandro Martinez, who just won a World Cup. It's got Casemiro as an example. I mean, we've got Marcus Rashford in the squad. The man has won 3 trophies, and like we've got other players. And I would Rashford for me is he's he is a big game player. And that's just to name a few. United have got players that would also pick up. And that's where I think he'd be different to Man United. And I said it when Goldbridge said the other day he wouldn't take him. There is the ankles and the injuries, but I don't see the guy slowing down just because of that. That's the only real fair comment is the injury record. Other people, he wouldn't be the main guy at Tottenham like he's at Tottenham, where if Harry Kane don't deliver, nobody else does. And I think that some of the times they've got it wrong with Harry Kane was like the Champions League final. He should never have started. They should never have thrown him into that situation. He should have been on the bench only and coming on when he's fully fit. And England did it at the World Cup in 2018. He wasn't fit. He was burnt out by the time. He weren't being subbed off in games. And sometimes you've got to know when to do that. And you get treated like that at England because we have there's no number 9 in England that's anywhere near his level. So it's hard to replace him. Spurs have never had a replacement. If he goes to a Man United, if he was at an Arsenal right now with Eddie Nketiah on the bench, Jesus in your squad, there are times where you could be 60 minutes into a game and you could say, Kane, you're coming off. We're going to put on Eddie Nketiah because you trust him. What do Spurs have? What have they had? Like, that's been the biggest issue, that what they've done to Harry Kane at Tottenham is almost gross negligence to what they've done to him as a player. The backups have been Jensen and the fake Mbappe or whatever his name is, who celebrated at Marina. Like, imagine doing that to Harry Kane. He should have had a striker around him pushing him. Remember when 2 summers ago, when they were trying to, they should have brought in, if they'd have brought in Lautaro Martinez to compete with him. That's how you keep Harry Kane fresh. It means you can rotate, you can give him time out. Doesn't have that. They even brought Richarlison in. No, he's been injured, but he ain't going to keep him out of the team either. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But if he stays at Tottenham, honestly, I question the guy's sanity, let alone his ambition. It's
competition.
Also,
as well,
you have
isn't
to
it?
question who's his inner circle. Like,
Can't put a price on loyalty though, man. To be honest, sometimes it's like he might want to become Mr. Tottenham, innit? He might want to be the next. What's his name? Greaves. Something Greaves. I don't know his
Jimmy
first name.
Greaves won something.
Listen,
Jimmy Greaves. That's the one. He might want to be the next one of those.
Loyalty in football doesn't. It might not exist in a couple of years' time. At this moment in time, to have some players that are loyal to clubs when they're in bad situations, you'll see that here and there. But realistically, when you retire, you're not going to be remembered for being loyal. You're going to be remembered for what you've won, and that's what people are going to write in the.
No, you know what, Igal, the worst part would be that is why Harry Kane's remembered, because he would go down as the greatest to never do it, because he'd have all these wonderful records of top scorer, most goals, this, that, and the other. It would look even worse if he doesn't have a trophy.
But
what was it all for?
You hear what you just said there? The greatest to never do it. Yeah. I mean, it's hilarious, and part of me kind of wants that if he signs this new deal, because it would be absolutely hilarious. We have some super chats here. The first one says Harry Jebediah Kane is built for Old Trafford. History tells us that United loves an England striker. Kane lifting a Prem at United clears anything. Haaland wins at City. I mean, I'll endorse that if he's a Man United player, don't doubt.